if we learn that many of us are living life which is not acceptable to our body. I'll start with physical examples, and I'll continue with examples of the eyes. The physical examples are that we always sit on a chair. We sit on a chair in order to study, we sit on a chair in order to work, and eventually it leads to arthritis of the hips, and many people have hip replacement surgeries. We weaken our muscles, they're not really working in harmony. Truth of the matter is that we use less of the muscles that we could have used throughout our whole life. And I want to give you some tips about it. Even though I will focus mainly on the eyes today, I do want to spend the next few minutes on the body. So to begin with, we repeat the motions that we always do. And some of it is necessitated by the work that we do and the lifestyle that we have. If you have to commute an hour in and an hour out from your work, you're going to have to sit for too long. Then you have to sit on a chair. That's very hard for the hips. Well, let me now say that basically hip replacement work could be prevented if we would work on balancing the muscles of the hip. Of course, we have to also pay attention to our diet. So let me work on hip muscles a little bit. For example, I want you to walk heel to toe forwards and backwards, toe to heel. So if we walk forwards, heel to toe, then we walk backwards, toe to heel. Try to give yourself a space in your room. This is not a huge room. This is not my classroom, which is downstairs. But this is the room where I do most of my Zoom meetings. So we walk heel to toe and toe to heel. And we can let our shoulders be loose so we can feel that the opposite hand moves, the opposite arm moves when we move heel to toe and toe to heel. Now there's another way of walking, which is sideways, that we normally don't experience unless we go to a nice dancing session. But basically, we don't have enough of this movement. And so now let's run backwards and run forwards. And remember, heel to toe forwards, toe to heel backwards. So the other day, I met a Parkinson patient that complained that his back is rigid. In fact, in Parkinson's, you have two problems: shaking that comes because of chemical changes in the brain, and rigidity. And it's not the shaking that puts you in the wheelchair, it's the rigidity. You become rigid. And I paid attention that when he walks, he basically stamps on his legs like this. He's not doing the heel to toe. It's such a simple thing. Heel to toe, and the front knee normally bends, toe to heel when you walk backwards, and then you move sideways in a way which is easy. So let's run forwards. Remember the heel to toe. Run backwards, remember the toe to heel, and let's do it several times in the room. So I have something that I really like in my disposal. It's called a bunga ball. I like to hit myself. I have two kinds of bunga balls. I like to hit myself very gently and very nicely in every part of my body, not in the soft tissue, but in the hard tissue. It's nice to hit. It always makes the arms feel better, the legs feel better. And basically, what I'm saying, that self-massage makes a big difference. Now, you don't have much choice about sitting. You have to sit. But then what happens is that if every one of you, once in a while, and I would say every 20 minutes, would stand up and lift his or her leg up, okay, lift the leg up, and then push the leg backwards, the chest forwards, and let the head rest backwards. If you do that, then that's the opposite posture than sitting. So you push forwards and backwards. And while sitting, many people tend to slouch. And that means they bend, they flex. A real good counter position to that is to bend from the hip forwards. It stretches a little bit the thighs, and it's a good thing. So the hips need a lot of movement. For example, putting the leg this way and stretching, putting the leg this way and stretching, just in the middle of all this work that you need to do, can save your hip from a hip replacement. And so many people need hip replacements these days. Well, I'll go much further than that when we'll have the day of work. But let's understand that because we use less of our muscles with greater tension, and we have a lot of life tension, a lot of worries, a lot of problems that come our way, our muscles become stiff, and less of them are working with greater intensity. And I give you one figure. We have more than 600 muscles, and most of us use 50 out of them with incredible amount of tension. And this is the thing that I want all of us to stop. Instead of going to the gym and just working with the same muscles that you work day in and day out, tiring them to a point of exhaustion. And I tell you, many people suffer from over-exercise, even though exercise is well recommended for our brain, for our body, for our circulation. But people often suffer from over-exercise because they use the same muscles again and again. They look good, they look in form, good form, but the truth of the matter is they're destroying their body. I just met one person with ALS that felt that he overworked his body, and he's not the only one, and got the illness. And it is so true, okay? So we get arthritis and many other problems from tensing the same muscles again and again, because muscles are basically arrows or vectors of tension. So we don't allow the tension to be even, and we destroy the body. The connective tissue then hardens, and most people start to have hardness. That's why in the United States, you have 200,000 massage therapists. Almost every time you go to an airport, somebody offers you for a nice fee a shoulder massage, because the shoulders get so tight with so many people in that the connective tissue becomes very hard. So again, what does relaxation mean? Using muscles you never used before, softening the connective tissue. And this is something we're going to learn well. You can also learn it very well if you use my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. It shows you with 600 different exercises, different ways to overcome many of the tensing moments that we have. It's day in and day out work. And one more thing I want to say, and because I'm approaching my 70s, I want to say that one of the things that people do frequently, they don't pay attention to, is that if they stand out of a chair, often they would hold, I don't have a support here, but they often will hold the support to get up, or will hold the table to get up. And truth of the matter is that that's how slowly but clearly they weaken the leg muscles. And when they climb upstairs, even if they don't need to, they hold the railing. And when they go downstairs, I understand that's for safety, you have to hold the railing. And if that's the case, please do, if your balance is in question. But if your balance is not in question, walk slower down, keep your balance, because so many people fall for much of nothing. They're in their 90s and they don't understand why all of a sudden they had a fall. And the reason is they have not built up the capacity of balance in the nervous system. They have not used muscles that they never used before, and they help too much muscles that were strong in the first place and got them weaker. We need to use muscles we never used, neurologically be able to connect between them and the muscles we always use, and create evenness in the body. That's how we live long life, but not only long life, life that is meaningful. Today I walked by the beach. I really enjoyed myself. Walking is so pleasant for me. And for so many people, it's a task. They kind of have to do it. Well, of course, I had the waves to look at, so that was beautiful. But I would say walking is something that I really really love to do. So remember, we also walk backwards and sideways. We also use muscles we never used before, and we have quite a few of them in the body. So let's now go to the eyes, because many people are interested to know what I have to say about the eyes. And I know that we have some Israeli people here. I'm sorry that the trip to Brazil got canceled for those who speak Portuguese. So I apologize for that. The organizers couldn't put it together, but I have a very good organizer in Israel, in Tel Aviv. We're looking for a good hall where we could do it. We lost a very good hall we could have. I'm going to be in Aloha or Linoa, Spain, and I'm going to be in Barcelona. And we have all the details that you can connect to us and learn where we're going to go. And I'm going to be in Paris. There I have the best halls there are. So that's a good thing. I really want to have a good one in Tel Aviv as well. So anyway, that's going to be October, November, and the beginning of December. But right now, we have two programs here. One is a day online on the 19th, and I think you ought to not miss it. It's going to make a very big difference in your life. It's going to be self-healing through movement and natural vision improvement, and a training course. I need new practitioners in my work. My practitioners are doing very well, but I haven't done classes for a long, long time. So we need new practitioners, but also if you just want to take my basic training for yourself, that would be also a good thing to do, and very intellectually challenging and helpful, and also physically helpful very much. You know, we have the beach, which is the biggest room in our school. We have a nice classroom. And so all of this could, and we have a good trampoline, all of this could work in your favor. Okay, vision. So these days, people look a lot from near, as I said in the beginning. And what it does, it creates constriction in the ciliary muscles. My apology, after a walk, I need to drink water. But anyway, it creates constriction in our ciliary muscles. And the constriction eventually leads to tension within the whole eye. The fluids do not vacate so easily. So if you have a tendency for high pressure, you get it. The lens becomes stiff, and with time, the proteins within the lens starts to crowd, so you start to get cataracts. The retina does not work all the way, it works mainly from near. And that leads to a lot of stress on the retina, and if you have a tendency for macular degeneration, which is a very modern disease, basically, except for Stargardt and some juvenile macular degeneration, which are really genetic. But many people just get macular degeneration and they lose their central vision simply because of that tension. So what I want us to do is to pay attention to a few things that happen to us. First of all, we don't pay attention to our periphery. And what is the periphery? Everything we don't look at. So for example, if I'm standing here and I'm looking at myself in the screen, the light is in the periphery. Robbie is in the periphery. The carpet is in the periphery. The ceilings in the periphery. So periphery is everything you don't look at. And with time, we don't pay attention to it. It was made for our ancestors in the jungle. And so what happened is there was a lot of movement in trees, movement in the forest. So what we need to do is do this. So all of you, wave your hands and sense your periphery. Sense your periphery. And breathe deeply and slowly. Sense your periphery. You can enlarge the screen if you want to. Yeah. Sense your periphery. Great. Then I asked you on the way to this class to have basically 4 pieces of paper, small one, medium, large, and then extra large. Okay. So the way we do it, in case you didn't do it as of yet, and I know that at least half of you know this tape. So the masking tape is like this. I have a round masking tape. I put it in the center, and that blocks my central vision. Now, what am I gaining by blocking my central vision? My brain is paying attention to the periphery. Of course, if I look to the left or to the right, I still look centrally. But if I look straight at the paper, I pay attention to my periphery. So we do a loop, basically. And all of you can do it with me. And if you didn't do it, you can easily cut paper as quickly as you can. Construction paper is the best, but any paper would do. And you make it round, so it would stick both to your nose and to the paper, right? So we make it round, and it sticks to the nose and to the paper, okay? That's the exercise. And so we'll give some time to people. So breathe deeply and slowly, and move your head in rotating motion. So just relax. So the neck is loose. Let's move the head in rotating motion in both directions. And then massage your scalp. So separate the scalp from the skull. You separate the scalp from the skull. So you massage your skull as you do that. You have no idea how much weight that skull has on your neck. So if you massage it, it makes a huge difference. Massage and separate the scalp from the skull. Now move the head in rotating motion. Okay? So you massage this, you separate the scalp from the scalp, and it probably makes your head feels a bit lighter. Okay? And we've done this exercise many times before, but move your head in rotating motion in both directions. Top here, and say center. I want to hear now you can open the microphone. I want to hear everybody says center. Unmute them.
Center, center,
Good.
center, center, center,
Center. Everybody. I don't
center,
hear you.
center, 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 center.
Move your head in rotating motion in both directions. How does it feel now? Now let's do the following thing. Tap your legs against the floor, and we'll say center thighs, center thighs. All of us.
Center side, 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 center side.
Okay, mute them. Center thighs, center thighs, center thighs. Stand up. Okay, again. Center thighs, center thigh, center thigh. Stand and have a seat. Now feel how your neck is doing. Okay, it's important to have good blood flow to the head. This is so important because so many people these days get either strokes or visual strokes. But before that, I think glaucoma has a lot to do with poor blood flow to the head. I think that many eye diseases have a lot to do with poor blood flow to the head. And many diseases are exacerbated with poor blood flow to the head. That's why we work so hard on that. So, right now, put the small paper between your eyes. All of you. You had enough time to cut it. Wave your hands to the side. Do it in two locations. One near the face and one far away. But you only look at the paper. You don't look at your hands. And there's much more to the peripheral exercise, but we don't have as much time as I would have in a day of work. So now let's put the medium paper and wave your hands close to the face and far away. Close to the face and far away. And now let's take the large one and wave the hands to the side. Not the extra large, but the large. Near your face and away. Near your face and away. And now let's take the extra large. And we wave close and far. Close and far. Now rub your hands and palm. Do palming with the long piece of paper. And breathe deeply and slowly. Slowly and deeply. Breathe in and out through your nose. Now open your eyes and wave again. Okay, now let's put it here and wave your hands. And we put again on the medium one, wave your hands. And let's have the small one. And here's my question to you, and you can ask yourself, does the small one feel smaller? And if so, your periphery have grown. I think it's a very, very important thing to do. I want to do one more exercise for the neck, and I'll continue and talk to you about your vision. So sit against a wall. Everybody sees me against the wall? Sit against the wall and move your head from side to side. Now, when you get to the side, tap on your neck, the other side, tap on your neck, and move your head and move the head in rotating motion on the wall. And again, you move to the side, you tap on your neck. You move to the other side, you tap on your neck. Now hold your legs and bend forwards. Hold your legs and bend forwards. And then hold the two legs and passively move them from side to side. From side to side. Again, you go back. And again, you move the head from side to side. You can even hold your forehead and move the head from side to side. You can bend. You can hold the legs and move them from side to side. It's one of the best neck releases, where you move from side to side, this way. And one of the things that I want you to see is that I like you to get out of the floor without the help of your arms. I think it's very important. It keeps your legs strong. We need a soft body, soft connective tissue, which is a result of using more of our muscles. And so that's how we can have a loose neck, because without a loose neck, you cannot have good vision. But now when we return to vision, we need to have a soft eye, soft looking eye, the one that senses the periphery. So the first thing that we need to know about vision is we have to let the vision in and never force it in, which means don't tense, don't squint your eye, but blink them very gently. So the more you let the vision come in, the more you preserve the gift of sight for the rest of your life. So the number one thing that I want you all to do right now, actually, for about 2 minutes, is leave the computer. Just hear my voice. Look out of your window. Look at the horizon. So let me just guide you. Leave the computer. Look out of the window. Look at the horizon. And in fact, first of all, look at the sky. Look at the clouds in the sky. It's so beautiful when I take my clients to the ocean. We have a nice balcony near the ocean. We look at everything. So you look at the sky. Then you look at the horizons. Then you look closer and closer and closer. Now wave your hands to the side as you do it. So you don't do it in a narrow way. You have also a periphery you do it with. So again, as you wave your hands, you look at the sky, and then you look at the horizons, and then you look at the waves. Oh, sorry, here we don't have, you don't necessarily have waves. You look at buildings, you look at mountains, you look at fields, whatever you have in front of you. Look at things and get closer and closer and closer as you wave your hands to the side. And it makes such a very big difference because now you rested your eyes from using the computer. Keep looking at a distance. And when you rest your eyes, you give them life because otherwise they become lifeless. Again, stress decreases the life of our organs, our lives. So looking at a distance reduces your visual stress. Okay? So you can come back to the computer, and I want you to know that breaks of 4 minutes at a time, we didn't do 4 minutes, we didn't do even 2 minutes, but we have a certain agenda. But I want you to know 4 minutes at a time, 6 minutes at a time, 4 or 5 times a day makes a whole difference. When I go with my partner to look at the sunset, I'm so happy. When we go and look at the waves, I'm so happy. On the way here, I wanted to make it on time. I did make it on time, but from time to time, I stopped and looked at the waves coming to shore. Sometimes with my weak eye, sometimes with both eyes. It was a fantastic thing to do. So, you know, I just want to finish before we're going to go for the palming exercise. And after that, we'll go to some questions and answers by saying that there's an incredible pessimism of people about the ability of senses to get better. They don't believe that hearing can improve. They don't believe that vision can improve. They don't believe that your capacity can get better. And even if you have a disease that you have to accept and live with, you can be worse or better. Your body can be worse or better. Your mind can be worse and better, experiencing the illness. And so it's so important for us to accept that we are powerful, that our potential is huge at any age, and that we could move forwards from where we are. So while we have a medical intervention which is necessary, we recover well. And if we do a lot of work, we may prevent a needed medical intervention because we can be strong enough and not need it with time. So, or I should say, potentially needed intervention we can prevent. So let's do the exercise of palming. I will just tell you one thing. Go wash your hands. I washed my hands before I came, but I will wash my hands now myself. I was on the carpet. It's clean, but I still wash my hands. And I have a palming stick, and what's good about it, I can make it higher or lower. It has a spring here. So I'll make it higher. I can make it lower. It's not so easy. It's not the best. I think that the English Bait Society also has palming sticks. They're much more elegant than mine, but mine are more solid, I would say. And I sit down and I put my hands over my eye orbits. And the idea is that the neck doesn't go down and doesn't go up. So go wash your hands. I'll do it the same. And we will do the exercise of palming all together. So before we palm, we first want to relax our shoulders. So we move our arms in rotating motion in both directions. So the shoulders are not stiff when we palm. Then move the arms in rotating motion. So we have 2 ways. One is the palms are touching each other. And the other is that they separate from each other. Now rub your hands and remember, this is the one minus that I have when we are on the internet. I cannot touch you because I want you to touch yourself gently but deeply. And I don't know how to describe it. It's more like the energy from the palms goes to the closed eyes. And it's very different than sleep because you really relax the eyes as good as possible. So rub your hands. And the minimum of palming is basically, there is no minimum, but the minimum where it's very effective is 6 minutes, okay? So you rub your hands, you put the hands over the eye orbits, very gently. And when we breathe, we feel that the abdomen expands as you inhale and shrinks as you exhale. You relax your jaw, you don't tighten your jaws. You feel that the lower back also expands when you inhale and shrinks when you exhale. You see black, if you can, or at least very dark. You feel that the waist expands as you inhale and shrinks as you exhale. You feel that the middle back, ribs, and chest expand when you breathe in and shrink when you breathe out. You visualize that your neck expands when you inhale and shrink when you exhale. And you visualize that the head expands when you breathe in and shrinks when you breathe out. So you visualize that the whole upper body, including the head, or at least, I mean, you can feel the upper torso, but the head, you imagine. You imagine it expands when you breathe in and shrinks when you breathe out. And you visualize that your arms are expanding when you breathe in and shrinking when you breathe out. That you cannot feel, you can only imagine. The upper torso you can feel. You can feel your abdomen, you can feel your waist, you can feel your back, your lower back, you can feel your ribs, you can feel your chest, the upper back, you can feel your shoulders, you can even feel your neck as you breathe, at least potentially. But the head you cannot feel, you can just think it. And some people feel it, but some people, most of us don't. We feel, or we imagine now that we feel our arms and our hands expanding when you breathe in and shrinking when you breathe out. Our upper arm, our forearm. And we imagine our legs, our thighs, our knees, our calves, our feet. They all expand when you breathe in. They all shrink when you breathe out. And you make absolutely no effort. The exhalation is always slower than the inhalation, but both are very slow. A good idea is to inhale to the count of 6 and exhale to the count of 8. But the main thing, to feel all your internal body, all your external body expanding and shrinking. It is what the world is doing. You might even have an etheric body above you and below you, who knows? Sometimes I feel it. And as we breathe, we feel they expand when we inhale and shrink when we exhale. We visualize blackness. And to entertain ourselves, we can listen to a story. I palmed this morning, actually less than normally, about 20 minutes. But often I find myself in the morning palming 45 minutes. No one with any eye problem should palm less than half an hour a day. Could be 6 minutes at a time, could be 10 minutes at a time, but this is how long we should palm. And we can listen to music. We can listen to a story on Audible or on a recorder and breathe. Alexa, play music.
All right, here's Spotify.
Play specific song. Alexa, play Love in Portofino. Doesn't matter, she doesn't want to play.
Alexa, play Love in Portofino.
Her hearing is impaired today.
There it goes.
Good, good, good. Alexa, play Quesas, Quesas. Alexa, level 7. Okay, slowly take your hands off. Turn the Alexa off. Alexa, turn off. We didn't hear music today, I'm sorry about that. Alexa, turn off.
Now she plays music. Alexa, turn off.
Just disconnect it. Good, put it back on. Okay, so the principles of natural vision improvement are in this book. We have it in so many languages. Yeah. So we have it in German, right? We have it in French. We have it in Spanish, in Spanish. We have it in English. But the best one I like the name in Hebrew, which means Meir and I am giving light to the eyes. We
Can
have
you give the title of the book again, please?
Vision for Life. Do you want it in which language?
Any English will be fine.
Vision for Life.
Thank you so much.
Vision for Life. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's in 20 languages, including Chinese, including the Czech language. I don't know how to read it in Czech. I mean, it's in many languages that I don't speak. And I only speak 4, none of them well. Anyway, I'm open right now to questions, but I just want to summarize and say the principles of natural vision improvement start with relaxation and continue with function for relaxation. We learn how to expand the periphery, how to look at details so we wake up the macula, how to we learn how to look at distances. We learn new techniques, but the most important thing is you start with the idea of soft looking eye. The eye must be soft. When I touch it as softness like a feather. So the more soft the eye is, the more it allows it to change from practically any condition to a better condition, from light and shadow to basically forms, from seeing 80% to seeing 100% for those who have normal vision. It changes through deep relaxation. And relaxation has many faces. We get people to bounce on a trampoline, catch and throw balls, or looking with the weaker eye, and they relax so much, they see so much better. So relaxation is that you let the eye that your brain never used to start and being used. It's eye-brain work. And that's what's missing in medicine, physical therapy for the eye and for the ears, inner sensory awareness. And that's what's missing in physiotherapy, allowing the imagination, allowing the sense of the body to function. And that's what we teach here.
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi, Alan.
How you doing, Meir?
Fantastic. And you?
That's great. I'm doing good too. I've been working on the exercises. I'm very excited. Um, Only thing right now, during spring, I get these terrible uh, allergies. So my eyes get really, really, really itchy. I don't know how bad are the drops for itchy eyes. How much of I don't know how
Let
much
me ask
damage
you-
it can cause.
Let
But-
me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How do the eyes feel after you take a shower?
Yeah, they feel better. Not well. They still feel itchy, but they do. I do feel a little bit of relief.
How do they feel when you put a cold towel over them?
I have not tried it. I have not tried it.
So here's my suggestion. 3
Okay.
showers a day and 6 cold face towel a minute each on your eyes, and see if
Okay.
your allergy will decrease.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
yes, there is, I mean, especially that, in your case, we want the eye to be as preserved as possible. By the way, Alan took my 6-day class, and I hope he'll take my training course. I think that what you need is to wash it away. So I would say a good warm shower with the steam would be helpful, but then
okay.
cold towel will also be helpful. Will take away the inflammation that the allergies lead to.
Yes, because I'm feeling terrible, and then I rub my eyes so much because of the effect of the
Don't
allergies and
rub your eyes. Never.
yeah, I know.
Don't ever put cold towel,
Terrible.
but do not, you already have retinal problems. Many people have
Yes.
corneal problems because they rub the eyes. So I'm telling to all of you, do not rub your eyes. Full stop.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Great
Yeah.
to see you. I have my appointment with the U.S. consulate next this 14th, May 14th. So for the student visa. So I'm looking forward to see you soon.
I so much hope you get a student visa from Mexico to come to the United States and be in our school. Be great. Thanks.
Great. Looking forward to it. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Okay. Yaniv.
Hi, Meir. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Shalom.
Shalom. Since you mentioned all senses and not only the eyes, I wanted to ask about tinnitus. If you have,
I'm looking at your neck, and you have a neck of somebody who has tinnitus. You need to loosen up your neck. I'm looking at your neck, kind of bend like this, and you definitely tense this muscle. So massage a lot this muscle, stretch this a lot. Where do you live in Israel?
Close to Tel Aviv, in Givat Shmuel, close to the University of Bar Ilan.
Well, it's not so close, but I suggest that you would meet with Sarit and
Oh, I met with her a few times.
Yeah, and get a lot of good massage to lengthen your neck. But there are 2 spots here. They're called, the style of foramen, and you pull them. And there's the foramen magnum. You pull that, and you massage this area. And another thing, you probably know that exercise, but that exercise increases tinnitus for a moment, but then decreases it. Let's all of us do it. Put your thumbs inside your ears, and let's breathe deeply for 10 slow, deep breaths. And when you take the thumbs off, there's a bit clearer hearing and a little bit less of the tinnitus, but you hear it more when you put the thumbs in because you hear inside. So Yaniv, what I really recommend is especially loosening up your neck. Tinnitus, like 25% of the people after the age of 50 have it, basically. And also what they have is stiff neck.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
thank
do
you.
believe that I do believe that my tinnitus is due to exposure to in the army, exposure to gunshot noise
Right. I definitely
so-
think you're right. I definitely think you're right. But now we have to solve it, right?
yeah. So
But
even though it's related to gunshot
Yeah,
noise,
because nothing happened to your ears. What happened was to your auditory nerve. And so you can bring more circulation to your auditory nerve and reduce the tinnitus big time. And you
yes,
probably know in yourself that there are moments with more and more moments with less, right?
Say again?
There are moments when you have more tinnitus, and there are moments that you have less tinnitus, right?
Yes, yes.
And that has everything to do with your neck.
I see. Yeah, I do have a lot of times I feel a tension on the neck, so I'll work on that for sure.
Nice to see you. I hope to see you in November.
You
Okay,
too. Thank you
Monica?
so much, Meir.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Monica?
Hello. Hello, nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Hi. A friend of mine, she's actually in Israel. She just found out she has a lymphoma in her eye. And she was told in Israel that's a very rare condition, and she's having surgery at the Hadassah hospital. I just
What's the nature of the surgery? What do they want to do?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think they want to remove. I don't know.
So here's my question. If they want to remove a part of the eye, like where has more of the lymph area, I'm for it. But when they remove an eye, they don't help a person at all. That's my opinion.
Yes, May. I don't think they're removing it. She said it's a 3-month treatment.
But you said surgery. Yeah, 3-month treatment. Okay.
Oh, sorry, it was my mistake.
So it looks like they're doing the right thing. Very good. No, in the past and sometimes in the present, they remove an eye very quickly.
Oh.
Okay. So what's your question?
If you have any tips for her.
Well, let her do a lot of palming and lie down on her back and put hot towels and cold towels interchangeably.
Okay.
Okay. And I love some herbs. For example, I like chamomile that we all know. And there's another herb which is called eye bright tea, which you can get in every health food shop, either in the United States or in Israel. And that tea is very calming and very soothing. So while she's going through it, do a lot of palming and also put water therapy around her eyes. And by the way, again, she can be in touch with Sarit or with Vered in Israel and work with them. And when she finishes the treatment, it'd be nice if she worked with me. Okay, next question.
And where can you find Sarit?
Sarit, you know what? Be in touch with office manager at self-healing.org. Office manager at self-healing.org, and she will give you all the details about Sarit.
And then he just added Tariq's number in the chat as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So we have Sarit's number. That's perfect.
Yep, I got it. Aloha, Meir. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
I know I'm wearing my glasses right now, but I wanted to see you on the screen. So
thank you. I'm happy you see me. I'm nice looking.
First of all, I just wanted to let you know, after attending the 6th day, I then went and had my eye pressure checked on glaucoma, and I've got it back easily in the reference range. And that was an intervention from the class. So I wanted to let you know of the success that we created there. So huge success, because I had not been able to change it. I was in 11 and 16 for my 2 eyes. So I was
Beautiful.
happy with that.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
that was down from 22 to 24.
Wonderful.
So my question is two questions, real quick ones. I'm continuing to do the exercises that I learned in the 6 days and on our one-to-one session. I added an iPort to my things. What's your opinion on an iPort? I was able to get one cheap from a friend, and I've been using an iPort. Are you familiar with that?
No, what is it?
It's a long device like this, where it has little lights that flash on and off, and you switch between red and green, and you look at it, and it shows you switch your glasses from red and green glasses, and it trains your eyes to watch the little
I
lights.
think it's good. I think it's very good. I think Lieberman invented it, didn't he?
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a good friend of Lieberman, and I think he does good work. And basically, it helps your nervous system as well. The most important thing for you, my friend, is to do palming and looking at a distance. Looking at it stretches your lens and can decrease the growth of cataract or eliminate it, basically.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what you're doing is perfect, and
Okay.
Lieberman is a good man, so that would work very well. Well, nice seeing you.
Yeah, and then the last part, simple question. The 4 cards, I destroyed mine. Do you have the size measurements so I can remake new templates, so I can do the little exercises like we did today?
The 4, yeah, definitely. We can ask from office manager, from Jeanne.
Yeah.
She will send it to you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
But I don't know about measurements too much, but let me tell you the best story I have about glaucoma. My daughter, you know, my 2 kids were born with cataracts, just like me, right?
Mhm.
And my daughter was very upset during the divorce between my wife and me. But I tell you, the story is actually a bit more complex in that first, she wanted me to fight with my ex-wife, although she loved her mother, and protect myself. But then when she learned that I started to accept the divorce, she started to have a high pressure. And some people say, well, if you had cataract surgeries in your infancy, that's what happened with my 2 kids, and you're 12 years old, you have 30% chance of high pressure in your eyes. So my ex went with my daughter to the ophthalmologist, and he immediately wanted to give her drops. Okay. So then we did with her exercises, like lying on a ball, lying on a ball backwards. And she lied on a ball all the way backwards.
Yeah.
Guess what? Her pressure went down from 30 to 25. And then a year later, she was really in a bad mental state. The teacher in the class made her the fool of the class, which was terrible. And I did not know that. And she was under stress. Her pressure went up to 36. At that point, I gave up. I said, okay, we need to put drops. But then she stopped doing it herself. And a year later, she had a wonderful teacher that taught her that they gave her good self-esteem. She also started to sing, which is interesting. She sang, she was in The Sounds of Music, she was the main character, and she yodeled a lot. I had to close her room and she yodeled. Anyway, when she went to an optometrist to check her, he said that her pressure went down from 36 to 23, 13 points down for having a good teacher and singing and doing all this exercise with me. 13 points down. She's now 31. We're talking about her being 12, right? Being born with cataract. First of all, the vision is excellent. But second of all, no sign of high pressure, no loss of optic nerve, nothing. So I have the best example in my life, my own daughter.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Meir. How are
Hi.
you?
Fantastic. And you?
Hi. Thank you. Thank you so much for this free webinar. It's been long. Well, you mentioned Ainoa, and we are part of her training. So we are so happy to be ambassadors of Natural Vision. and I know that natural vision works. For me, it was 45 years of wearing glasses with a lot of symptoms. And now I'm looking at the computer, I'm writing, I'm reading without them. And it's so nice, the benefits, especially what you have told us today, the benefits of relaxation, right? And, but I always, you know, it's kind of controversial to think about the sun. I do the sunning exercise, the palming, everything. We are training, in fact, to be visual coaches, a lot of us here.
By the way,
And
do you know that I teach a class for visual coaches in Spain? I forgot the name of the city. Jean, can you remind me the name of the city? Can you get Jean?
with Ainhoa, Meir,
Yeah, no, but Joanna is my and a Bates Association. Okay. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm here in the US. I'm here in the US, in Florida. So one day I will be your trainee. One day I will go to San Francisco and teach
I know I want to do
and learn from you.
I know I want to do the same thing, by the way. So it'll be nice. Yeah, go ahead.
Good. You know, what do you think about the sunlight? I know it's so good, so beneficial, but sometimes some people say, don't look at the sun so directly with your eyes. I don't know, what's your, about the eclipses and all that, but I know the sun is so good for our eyes.
You know, strawberry is also very good for the body, but you can eat too much of them, right? So
Yeah.
the point is that if you do it, especially in Florida, in the early morning, with a little bit of wind, it's fantastic. If you do it in the middle of the day, you wash your face with cold water, or you take a cold water towel with you to put around your eyes, and then do the sunning. And when you do the sunning, you face the sun with the bridge of your nose, and you move your head all the way from side to side. All the way from side to side. So you move the head this way. So basically, you have sun and you have darkness. And you have sun and you have darkness. And to be able to do both. And then sometimes we massage the eyebrows when we go like this. Sometimes massage the eyebrows and then the cheekbones. In the middle of sunning, we do palming for one breath or two to be able to widen the pupils. So it's like you can get to a place when the sun is too much, but on the other end, I don't think anyone should do sunning for less than 3 minutes at a time. So for example, I would recommend you do sunning in the morning. In the morning, it's you can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no problem. In the middle of the day, you do it for 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes.
So when you do the palming, you can do sunning and palming.
Absolutely.
The palming is looking at the sun, or
no. You turn away from the sun, and then you do sun. But the palming then is only for 2 breaths. It's a short palming, just to widen the pupils and to continue to always people see better colors after they palm. And in your case, your skin seems to be a bit sensitive, so put a little bit of protection on your skin. Okay. And also work on your neck before you're sunning. You need to loosen up your neck a bit.
Okay. Thank you so much, Meir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the unmute button. Thank you very much, Meir, for this. This is wonderful as always. I was wondering, because I'm working on my vision with all, your yoga for the eyes and things like that. I was wondering, when is the best time to go to see the eye doctor, and what should I ask for? I don't want the strongest lenses. I have astigmatism in one eye, and it's 20/70. The other one is 2600. So
That's a good point. And the answer is when your weaker eye got a bit better, instead of 600, you see 2,500, you'll see that a strong eye got even better. And so as soon as you see better, that's a good time to go to your eye doctor. First of all, to check the inside of your eye to see that the eye is perfect, and most likely it is. And just to rule out any potential problem. And then it is good for you to have reduced prescription to some extent. But if you see 20/70 with maximum correction, you should have those glasses for a while, right? What is the original problem? Why you have the 2600 and 20/70?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had radiokeratotomy surgery done to correct my vision, and now it has astigmatism in that eye. The vision was, corrected to from 2600 to 2070. But
Yeah.
astigmatism is like 125.
Right. But then the vision is only 20/70? Or is it a reduced
It was
prescription?
corrected through that.
Because you can correct it to 20/20, no?
No, my eye actually distorted, and then it got worse. It didn't heal properly.
You
So
see
that's
why-
why I didn't have the other eye done.
You see why I campaign against LASIK surgery?
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, understood.
Okay. So we will do a lot of exercises to deal with astigmatism. And we have very nice chart that you can ask from Jean to send you how it looks like, that we work for astigmatism. Also, Tibetan charts are very good for astigmatism. And did you see my book, Vision for Life?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it has good exercises against astigmatism in it, but in the day of workshop, we'll definitely spend some time to correct astigmatism. This is the chart that we use. And a wonderful guy by the name of Peter, who met me in some workshops. It's interesting. He was fired as an engineer and he decided to design these things for people. So we have a lot of practice to do on those, and we'll do them in the workshop. And in the meantime, get my book, Vision for Life. It's on Audible.
Okay.
It's also a physical copy, so you can get them.
I think I have some of your audio stuff, a lot of your audio tapes too. So
Right. Very good. Very good. Well, it's
Thank
nice
you.
to see you. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm André, from Brazil.
Oh, we talked on the phone before.
Yes, Meir, yes.
You're a cardiologist, right?
Yes.
Holistic cardiologist.
We are expecting you in Brazil this late
I'm
April,
so
but-
sorry it didn't work out. I was ready to go and be 3 weeks in Brazil, but unfortunately, all the people who were about to help me got sick. So
Yes, I knew that. It's amazing. But Meir, I'm not sure if you remember, but my case is epiretinal membrane in the
membrane,
left.
yeah.
Yes, remember that. And I didn't get so much improvement in my central vision in this left eye, And now
Did you do a lot of the exercise of which is the worst eye that you have, by the way?
I'm sorry.
Which is the worst eye? ¿Qué olho pior por você?
It's my left one. Yes.
The left one, okay.
Yes.
So one of the best exercises is to completely patch the right eye and to patch 90% the left eye and to stay just with the area which has scotomas or almost not seeing. And with that, maybe somebody can hold you. You can walk a little bit, look at things. Also, there could be light that blinks. But mainly, it's a good idea for you to be outdoors in the light and look with that area and then take everything off. And it should help you to have a little bit more vision where the membrane is. And the membrane slowly can disappear with enough work. Okay?
You mean I can use that sort of glasses? I will show you this moment.
I said I'm not the only one who looks for things.
We all do.
This kind of glasses, do you think is, can you see it?
Bring it higher. Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tampon, eye patch over the
Oh,
right eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Over
Eye
the right,
patch.
yes.
Yeah.
Over my right eye.
Like a
Oh,
pirate.
okay.
Pirate. Yeah. And then you take paper and you put a little hole in it, like with a pencil, exactly where the blind spot is. Okay. And with that, you have somebody who you know can walk with you outside. You move your head from side to side and you look with the area that is nearly blind. And you look with it and look with it, and you can find many things with it. And then you have a good chance of waking up some cells in that area and seeing better through it. This is one out of several exercises I would do with you. I would also do with you a lot of body work, which I think can make a difference. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the webinar. I appreciate it. I have had several corneal transplants, and as a result, I have scar tissue behind my lens. And I was wondering if you had that for scar tissue behind the lens because it's too risky a procedure to remove.
Oh, don't touch it. Don't touch it. But what kind of transplants did you have? Corneal transplant?
Corneal transplants.
Yeah. You know, in the past, they thought it's a very, very good surgery that the cornea is exterior, has no rejection, and then we learn of many rejections.
Yes.
Well, you know, I would not touch it. I would do with it eye exercises. I would start in your case with this exercise of massaging around the eye. So I would put pressure on the bridge of the nose, and I would put pressure on the nose, and I would massage from the bridge of the nose to the temple, from the nose to the ears. That's the kind of massage that I would do.
Okay.
Okay. And the palming that we did is very good for you. But don't touch the eye. Really. You already
Right.
you had enough. Okay.
Right.
Couple last people right now.
Hi.
Here.
Hi, Meir. It's really nice to see you after all these years. I'm actually in Ireland, and I have MS for many years. And I bought your book when I was in my 20s, and I healed a lot back then. But at the moment, and my right leg is very troublesome. It's very stiff, just like what you were saying earlier. It's the collagen has kind of, it's atrophied and stuff. So there's a lot of the exercises that I can no longer do. I'm wondering if the eye exercises alone will kind of help in any way.
The eye exercise will be good, but let's talk about you. What about going to palming, by the way, is fantastic for you. What about going to water? Do you have any access to a pool where you can stand and mobilize your legs? I'm not talking about swimming. I'm talking about holding in the pool and moving the legs up and down. That could be a very useful thing for you. And I'm going to Paris. That's as close as I get to you. I've been Spain, Paris, and in.
I was definitely planning on coming to Barcelona or Paris for sure.
Wonderful. Let's have about 3 or 4 sessions, and I think I can help you. But start with water exercises. Do the eye exercises, definitely, for relaxation and improvement, but we have to do water exercises.
Yeah, because I don't really have any eye symptoms, really. It's just my right leg. And actually, it's not dragging in the typical way. It's kind of stuck up the way. So
I'm very proud of you. Look how well you're doing with MS. How old are you right now?
I am 45.
Wonderful. You look 15 years younger. So Anyway,
Okay.
I think that you held very well, and we want to hold well for the next 50 years. And the way to do it is to not give up on any symptom. Even if we modified a bit that stuckness, we would help it quite a bit. But I want to tell you and everybody a story. There was one lady who met me in England, and she was having a cane, and she was limping, and she had multiple sclerosis. And I learned that actually her little toe in her right leg was immobile, and everything else stiffened around it. So we loosened up everything, and it looked like a miracle. She could walk without a cane within 4 sessions. But it took about a year to get the little toe to move. So
would it be the same with like a finger? Because I actually hurt my little finger.
Mhm.
And since I hurt that, my right leg has kind of been affected.
those things are definitely connect to each other. But the point is that everything is basically connected to everything else. And the biggest lecture we can give to everyone is you want to be vigilant about your body, which I think brings us actually to the end of our session. I want to do some important exercise with you. So my friends, if you have a chair, so we're going right now to a mute mode with everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So nice to see you, and I want to see you when I'm in Europe. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. You stand in front of the chair, and the first thing that you do is feel your shoulders. Okay. Sit down and feel your shoulders again. Okay. And then stand up and bring your legs on the chair for about 20 times. So you want to make sure that the heel touches the chair. That is if it's possible or easy for you. Like in my case, you don't want to fall or to lose your balance. And so what you want to do is lift the leg at the chair 20 times. And breathe deeply and slowly. Okay. Now move your shoulders again. And sit down and move your shoulders again. You can see that working the hamstrings helps the shoulders. Now comes the next thing. Move your head in rotating motion in both directions. Now, for the next minute and a half, move your feet. Do everybody see the feet that are moving?
Mhm.
Yes, okay. So my heels are on the ground. I move the feet in rotating motion. Alexa, give us 90 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds, starting now.
So we move in rotating motion in both directions. Just for about a minute and a half. You see, it's a movement we're not used to. You lift the legs up, you bring them down, you really work your feet. People think it's nothing until they do it. And I'm not doing it for a long time today. We simply don't have the time. But this is just wonderful. So we move the feet on, the heels on the ground, and we move the feet in rotating motion in both directions. And breathe deeply and slowly. You see, the first minute it feels like nothing. And when you continue, it doesn't feel so much like nothing. So continue, move your feet in rotating motion in both directions. I'm not asking you to jump on ropes. I'm not asking you to lift weights at this point, although that's not a bad idea. But I'm asking you just to move your feet in rotating motion equally to both directions. And breathe deeply and slowly. Alexa, stop. Okay, tell me, how does it feel to move the head in rotating motion? Do you feel the relief that comes because the brain senses that the legs first supported the shoulder, now they support the head? See, that's how it works neurologically. You don't think only building up muscles, but you think controlling the body in a proper way from the bottom up, from the top to the bottom. Now tap on your legs to relax. And let's do our last palming right now. So this point, just rub your hands, put your hands over the eye orbits. Remember, very, very gently, very softly, breathe in and out. And feel how the whole upper torso expands when you breathe in and shrinks when you breathe out. Feel yourself comfortable on the chair you sit on. Visualize your whole body soft and breathe deeply. Alexa, play music.
Okay, here's Spotify.
Alexa, level 7.
Il dolce incanto del mattino, il mare ti ha portato a me. Chiudo gli occhi da me vicino, a Portofino, rivedo te. Ricordo un angolo di cielo, dove ti stavo ad aspettare. Ricordo un volto tanto amato e la tua bocca da baciare. I found my love in Portofino, quei baci più non suderò. Non è più triste il mio cammino a Portofino. I found my love. Ricordo un angolo di cielo dove ti stavo ad aspettare. Ricordo il volto tanto amato e la tua bocca da baciare. Quei baci più non scorderò. Non è più triste il mio cammino a Portofino. I found my love. Non è più triste il mio cammino a Portofino. I found my love.
Alexa, stop. So let's return to breathing deeply and slowly, not moving our hands. Enjoy your breathing. And you enjoy it only if you don't push for it. You enjoy it if you feel that the body responds to it. So for example, when I breathe, I feel that the blood flows better to the feet. When I breathe, I feel relaxation comes all over my body. All thoughts can pass away. Okay, slowly take your hands off. So I just want to say, the important thing that we know is that the establishment of physicians, and it's becoming more and more actually isolated because there's so many people with integrative medicine or doctors does not believe in our potential. I'm so grateful that they have all the new inventions and they are good in diagnosing and understanding people's problems. But the establishment often leaves us behind, leaves our capacity behind. And what I like about everyone that I heard today is how much you want your capacity to come out. And so remember June 19, it's a whole day of workshop from 10 in the morning in California to 5 in the afternoon. And because there's more light everywhere in the world, then that still is going to be very good. Thank you very much for being here. Anyone who has a question can call the school and I'll be glad to answer it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.